What's the deal with Bruno? Value, humility. Note, unlike most of my stories, the symbolism of this parable is not spelled out. Be sure you are ready to explain to the children that Bruno is a type of Christ and Andrew a type for all Christians. From the minute he showed up at school, everybody knew Bruno was poor. His clothes were tattered, he never carried any money, and his hair was never clean. Usually, when a poor kid started school, though, the bullies picked on him the most. Lots of the Christian kids hated that, but they were afraid to step in. Andrew spotted Bruno the first day, and he immediately knew there was something different about him. At lunch, Bruno was just having a side dish because that was all he could afford. So Andrew bought 2 full meals and took one to Bruno. "Hi, I'm Andrew. I accidentally got 2 meals today. Can you take one?" Bruno's eyes shone with appreciation at the offer. "Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Bruno. I'm new here." And over lunch, the two became good friends. "Listen, Bruno, be careful about the bullies, okay? They always pick on the poor, the new kids, and I don't want to see you get hurt," Andrew advised. "I'll be careful. Don't worry about me, Andrew, for anything." Bruno smiled. There was that smile again. Usually poor kids did not smile like they were on top of the world. Bruno smiled like that. He was at ease in the school, even when the snooty kids wouldn't talk to him, bumped him, or said crude things to him. He just sang a quiet song and walked confidently down the middle of the hallway with a spring in his step like he could not be bothered by anything. Even those who wanted to bully him paused and watched him walk away like that totally puzzled them and wondered, what is the deal with Bruno? Suddenly, the biggest bully of them all stepped in front of Bruno. His name was Rocky, and even the bullies feared him. "Hold it right there," Rocky said. "What are you so happy about?" "Not many people are happy before they get beaten up," Rocky said. "Hello, Bruno here." Bruno introduced himself. Then what he did absolutely amazed the whole school. Bruno just moved slightly to the left, which caused Rocky to move with him, and that little fake gave him an opening, and Bruno slid under Rocky's arm on the right and continued walking toward the exit. "Bruno!" Rocky called out in anger. 5 o'clock at the baseball field. Be there," he challenged. Bruno turned back to Rocky, that very happy grin still on his face. "Happy to," he said without a trace of fear or anger, almost like he was making a date to play baseball rather than to be abused by Rocky and his boys. Andrew called Bruno after school and tried to talk him out of going, but no good. Bruno acted like it was going to be fun, so he agreed at least to let Andrew come with him. They approached the ball field, and it was deserted. Bruno and Andrew started throwing a ball back and forth when the bullies arrived. Rocky's friends filled the bleachers. "Okay, Bruno, no more fooling around," Rocky said, advancing. "Oh, I think lots of fooling around," Bruno said, and all of a sudden, he was behind Rocky. Rocky swung around, and the super-quick poor boy was behind him again. When Rocky turned again, Bruno smiled and patted his nose. The kids in the stands roared with laughter. Rocky swung his fist to hurt Bruno, but Bruno was too nimble. He grabbed Rocky's arm and put him to the ground, and he did it over and over again until Rocky lay exhausted and not one punch had been landed. Andrew recognized the moves as those only a black belt in judo could have done. Just then, a car drove up just next to the ball field. But it wasn't just any car. It was a very special car. On the side, the words Van Pelt Industries were written. Van Pelt Industries was the factory that made up about 90% of the employment in Andrew's town. The president, Steve Malone, was a genius of management, so everybody who worked there was very well off. "Well, I have to be going now," Bruno said, walking to the limousine. The passenger door opened, and the tall, handsome Steve Malone got out. "All done, Bruno?" he said happily. "Sure am, Dad." And the two started to get in the car. All around that baseball field, the people watching, Rocky and Andrew just watched with absolute amazement as the son of the king of the town, who everybody thought was a poor kid, got into the limo with his dad. Before they took off, Bruno leaned out the open window. "Andrew, you gave me food when you thought I was poor. Care to come to the mansion for a nice long visit?" he offered. "You bet!" Andrew shouted, and he ran to the car where they let him call his mom on the cell phone so he could go to the mansion. And why not? Who wouldn't want to stay with the son of the king in a mansion with all the luxuries? Any of us would love to have a best friend like that. I know I would.